Hey everyone, Stephanie here, coffee drinker, book lover, and reviewer of many things, and today I'm going to talk about TV shows. Yep, that's right, I finally got around to it. So, I don't watch very much TV, but when I do, I try to binge watch a whole series as fast as possible. Is anyone else like that? Like, I don't like to be like, okay, I watched one episode, wait until next week to watch another. I don't know how I used to do that. Like, okay, I do know how I used to do it. I had a big whiteboard, and I wrote down every, day of the week, and then I wrote down the TV shows, what channel they were on, what time they came on, and I pretty much revolved my life around that. So yeah, it was a little crazy. Okay, so I have Disney Plus with Hulu attached to it, and Netflix. So I'm going to start with Disney/Hulu, which most of them I think you can find on Hulu. Yeah. So I'm going to start with the furthest away and move my way up to the newest ones that I've watched or am watching. And then I'm going to talk about things that I'm looking forward to watching in the future. So I have to talk about We Were the Lucky Ones. That TV show just got me, okay? The reason I chose it is because I like the actors Joey King and Logan Lerman. I like everything that Joey King is in, and, Logan Lerman, the first thing I ever saw him in was, oh my gosh, what was it called? He was little. He was little. Jack and Bobby. Was that the first thing? Well, I guess technically the first thing I saw him in was The Patriot. He played the little boy. And then I saw him in Jack and Bobby. He was Bobby McAllister. It was such a good TV show. There should have been more. There should have been more. Me and my grandma and my mom, when my mom was home, we watched TV shows. And then he was also in The Butterfly Effect and The Number 23. And those I had seen, but I didn't recognize him because, makeup and stuff. And then I knew he was in Percy Jackson. My younger brother was really big into the Percy Jackson books, and I think we saw the movie or watched it on TV or something. And so obviously I know him from that. And then The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Perks of Being a Wallflower was a very good movie. And so, I just like him as an actor. And, I feel like everything that he's played in, he's done a really good job. And so when I saw that him and Joey King were going to be playing against each other, I was like, yes, I'm watching it. And, I actually watched that where I had to wait for the next episode to come out, and I was just like, it doesn't want it all. It's not for kids. It's about the Holocaust, so it's not for kids. There's a lot of emotions, and the other actors and actresses that were in it made me feel like it was really happening, and I think I cried a few times. And there was a few times when I just picked up my kid and hugged her for no reason. Like, I mean, for her it was no reason, but some stuff happens in the show. Look, I'm getting... just remembering it makes me sad. Okay, moving on. We're moving on. No more sadness. We were the lucky ones, so it ends happy. Okay, it ends happy. The next thing that I watched was A Murder at the End of the World. This one, yes, mind-blowing. This one also had a few sad moments, but not to that extent. It was very much about AI and tech and how tech can be dangerous. Yeah. I can't even really talk about small things without giving away big things, so I'm gonna say there's this girl that's a hacker, and I guess young woman, and her hold on. I want to read what it says so that I don't give anything away they don't want me to give away. I'm not sponsored by any of this. Okay, I can say that. It says, Darby Hart, a Gen Z amateur sleuth, attempts to solve the murder at a secluded retreat. Okay, so she's an amateur sleuth. Her dad works in a morgue, or he's one of the, what are they called? Not CSI, like, he's the one that goes when there's the body, and he, like, looks at the clues and the body and how it looks. After her mom passes away, she starts riding in the car with them, and finally one day she's like, I want to see. And that's when her life starts as an amateur, and she kind of works with him sometimes in the morgue, and it shows, you get these flashbacks of she knows one of the guys that was invited to the secluded area, and you get flashbacks of how she knows him, and okay, I kind of figured out who the murderer was a few episodes before it happened, but I'm just really, I've been reading thrillers and amateur sleuthing stuff my whole life, so maybe that's just me, but it was still really good to find out why that person did it, and the ending was pretty cool too. A lot of stuff happens in the in-between the beginning and the end, and you have to, it's one of those that you have to actually keep your eyes open and watch. You can't get distracted and like knit and look down and knit, or whatever else. You have to actually watch it, or else you're gonna miss something. Yeah, it was really cool. Was it the 100 the best thing I've ever seen? No, probably not, but it was very inventive, and I was like, this is cool. The next one that I watched was Under the Bridge, and I almost didn't watch this one because it's based. because it's based on a true story. And like, I haven't just told you about We Were the Lucky Ones, which is based on a true story. But Under the Bridge is about gangs, wannabe gangs. I don't know how to explain it. It was really cool to watch. Like, I can't talk about this one either without giving it away. There's a lot of bullying in this one, and the murder at the end of the world. There's only maybe 2 or 3 scenes that I'd be like, it's not appropriate for kids to watch. Like the dead body. Yes, there's some dead bodies, but they're not like gross looking or anything. Like they're just bodies. There's there's some talk about adult relations. My kid is in the room, so I gotta be careful on how I say things because she's at the mocking stage. And there's some words. Anyway, so back to Under the Bridge. Under the Bridge has a lot of words and underage drinking and underage substances. And this show was full of twists and turns that you didn't see coming. This one is definitely not for kids. Nope. I had my headphones in and I held with my screen so my kid couldn't see different scenes. It's about a murder. And there are talks of completing suicide. Possibly. We're not 100% sure. They say that he just slipped and fell. But later, as an adult, she goes to that area and she's like, it's not slippery here at all. You'll have to watch it to understand. She gets more information out of the kids because she's a reporter than the cops can, and at first the cops don't even care. You get backstory on different religions, and you have a backstory to, like, there are some flashbacks, okay? And some of them are for the person who got murdered, her parents, and how they met, and stuff like that. So you're just gonna have to watch Under the Bridge to understand what I'm talking about. Yeah. It was good. It was based on a true story, and I had already know about it because I've listened to true crime stuff and watched true crime stuff, and so I was like, oh. And it was like, please be careful. But it was cool to see different version of what I had already heard about. The next thing, I started rewatching Pretty Little Liars because there's a Pretty Little Liars podcast, and they talk about what are their names? The one that played Paige and Jenna. They have a podcast together, and they just talk random stuff about their lives, what happened on set. They interview different people that were on the show, and they have a that more detective person, like in that other show I was talking about earlier. Anyway, so I started rewatching Pretty Little Liars because I was like, yes. And then me and my kid recently watched an anime from Hulu. I think it's on Disney, actually. It's called A3 with an exclamation point, and it is about a theater being saved by, like, this girl goes out and she finds, because there's some drama in the beginning, okay? And she shows up, and there was like it's an all boys theater thing, and her dad used to be a co-owner of it, and the guy who owns it now, he was like, I'm gonna just shut the place down. All of you suck. To the auditions. And she's like, you can't do that. And he's like, yeah, I can. You know, the other guy's dead. And she's like, in this paper here, it says that I am a part co-owner now because, you know, he was my dad. And the guy's like, it's you. I don't want to, how many of you are actually going to watch A3 anyway? After, it's technically 4 seasons, like seasons, like spring, summer, winter, fall, you know, spring, fall, spring, summer, fall, no, yeah, spring, spring, summer, fall, and winter. Each season has a new cast, but the old cast is still in the building, or at least some of them are, and they like give guidance to the new captain of the team, and it's really cool. It's on, like, we have my kids set for under, you know, a certain age, and it says that she can watch it, and it's all good until like the fall season. They say ass a lot, and I don't want her saying that, but it was really cute. I watched it with her. She is too young to understand the concept behind the plays that they do, but you see the group of boys aging from like, I think junior high maybe, or high school to like out of high school, college. You see them go through trials, you know, and the like how much acting can take on your body, because you have to do, you know, rehearsals and dress rehearsals, and you have to, you know, all of this other stuff. And so it was really cool to watch, and I was like, this is a good one. And so yeah, I like that, and I wish there was more, but it doesn't look like there's gonna be any more. Stuff I'm looking forward to watching more of, obviously Pretty Little Liars, because it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't feel like listening to anything, and I'm eating something messy, so I'll just put this on. That's what Pretty Little Liars is right now. And so stuff that I need to watch, or I'm looking forward to watching, the new season of Doctor Who. I haven't seen it yet. I was gonna wait for my husband. I don't know if I will, because I just need to know what happens in the new season of Doctor Who. And then I haven't watched the last season of Good Trouble. I really liked the Fosters, and so I had watched Good Trouble, and there's some of it that I'm kind of like, okay, get on with it. So I just haven't watched the new season yet. I want to watch the anime called Dark Gathering. It's about this teacher that he is in charge of teaching a kid, like tutoring a kid, I don't know. And she is a medium. That's why she probably doesn't go to school. And so it sounds really cool. I don't really know all the details because I haven't watched yet, but it popped up on my recommendation list, and I was like, so that's all the ones from Disney/Hulu. Like I said, they're probably all on Hulu except for A3. I don't know for sure if that was Hulu or Disney. Now I'm going to talk about Netflix. I think... Ooh, do I want to start with the scary ones first? Or do I want to talk about the not scary ones? Okay, I'll start with the not scary ones and then work my way up. Okay. I'm going to start with the animes. Because they're usually not... Well, we can have a whole talk on animes later. I have found a lot that I'm like, oh, I love this. This feeds my dark soul. I have been watching Pokémon Horizons with my kid and my husband, and the new season just came out, and I could care less about the rest of the Pokemon series. Like, yeah, I watched some of it. There were a few Pokemon movies that I'm like, oh, this is so cute. And then I heard that there was going to be, like, Ash wasn't going to be in it. I was like, I'm in. It's not that I don't like him. I just get tired of seeing him all the time. Anyway, so I like the new Pokemon series, Horizons, and, I just, there's so much that I want to know. Like, I have so many questions about the series. How far is this going to go? And will she ever learn about that girl that does her favorite show on a little website thingy? Anyway, I'm like, how do you not know? Sorry, I didn't mean to yell. But that's what I do to the TV. I'm like, and the main character girl's just like, oh, she's just a really big fan. Look at that. She has a costume. And I'm just like, the voice is the same. Anyway, I need to watch the new season of that. It just came out not too long ago, but we'd been sick and we were doing other stuff, and I didn't want to force my kid to watch it. She wanted to watch Frozen. And the next one I want to talk about is Delicious in Dungeon is really kind of imaginative and kind of sometimes gross. So, if you've ever played any kind of dungeon game where you have to go fight monsters, sometimes the monsters drop food, and in some games you can take the food back up to where you live and you can change it into something edible. Well, this group that has been together for a while, it starts off with the main character's sister getting eaten by a dragon. And he's like, okay, if we get back down, because she did a spell as she was being taken away to throw everyone back up. To not the dungeon. And, so he's like, if we hurry back down, we can save her, because the dragon won't digest her that fast. The dragon is supposed to eat a whole bunch and then go to sleep. Like, it only is awake once a month or something like that. I don't remember. But the 3 members of the 5 people that got saved, 2 of them left. And so 3 of them are left, and the one person's like, how will we survive? We have no money for food. All of our stuff was down there. And so they decide they're gonna eat the monsters, and then they meet someone. He's never lived outside the cave. He was born in the cave, so they're trying to figure out if he's considered a cave monster or not. And I need to know also. I need to know. I need to know. Yeah. It's really funny. Like, there's so much, like, back and forth wit. I laugh out loud all the time. And the next anime that I watched, I almost didn't watch it because it looked too pretty. And it sounded too, like, pretty princess, kind of, I don't know. It didn't sound like something I would like, but it kept popping up on my recommendation. So I finally clicked on it, and I'm so glad I did. I thought it was going to be like Cinderella, you know, the stepsister who has been put to work this whole time. Her mom and dad were married, and then her mom died, and then dad remarried real fast and had a kid real fast. So, just, and because she wasn't born, or she didn't show powers, because her mom, before she died, locked them away in a tree, and the tree gets cut down, and then things start happening, and there's like powers, and there's magic, and the guy she gets married off to is actually a really good guy, even though everyone thinks that he's just like soldier guy. And it was just really cute, and I really hope that there is another season. Apparently there is gonna be there's gonna be a second season. I'm so excited. But of course it's based, like, of course there's some novels or some mangas for them, and I'll probably find them and read them. Anyway, so yes, that is the anime from Netflix that I have watched recently, and I definitely recommend them. And now that I know there's supposed to be more Delicious in Dungeon. I don't know when, but and there's supposed to be more My Happy Marriage, and there's more Pokémon Horizons, but I haven't watched it yet. Anyway, the next thing I was going to talk about is Anne with an E. And yes, if you watched my Anne of Green Gables video, I did kind of talk about this. I loved Anne with an E. It was so cute. I loved everything about it. I do like that they gave more of like a backstory to Anne, because the book doesn't do that, because it's a kid's book, and obviously they can't be like, oh yeah, she was beat. But it's obvious, like, that's what would happen. And I liked her relationship with the other characters. There's a gnat. And I like how her and Gilbert progressed through the story. I do wish there was a few more things from the book between them two, like the part where in the book when she gets in trouble, like, there was a handful of people that should have gotten in trouble at once, but the teacher picks on her and tells her she has to go sit next to Gilbert in the boys section, because she was wandering the woods or something like that during their lunch break and didn't get back in time. And so when nobody was looking, Gilbert took a little pink candy heart, and it had a golden motto on it that said, "You are sweet," and slipped it under the curve of Anne's arm. Whereupon Anne arose, took the pink heart gingerly in her fingertips, and dropped it to the floor, ground it to powder beneath her heel, and reassumed her position without even bestowing a glance on Gilbert. Like, I wish that was in the book. I mean, in the show. But it's a pretty cute. I wish there was more. I wish there was more because I just want to see that romance bloom. And I like how I like how inclusive the TV show was, and it obviously they don't talk about stuff like that in the book, but man, I loved it. I loved everything about. I mean, I didn't love everything. There was that one scene. What happens? Shouldn't have, like, I know that it was popular to happen back then, but at the same time, I'm like, things got blown out of proportion a little bit, I think, and between, I said, Ruby and one of the boys, he, like, makes her come outside with him and then does things to her. And that just made me, I was like, oh, he needs to get in trouble. He needed to get in trouble. Anyway, moving on. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Good Girl's Guides to Murder. This is another one that's a book first, and the book was so good and so awkward, and I loved it because the main character isn't good with people, and she's never really been interested in boys, but here she is, kind of in a relationship, but she's not sure because, like, never felt like this. The TV show does a pretty good job at it. It's one of those that you have to watch because otherwise there's some awkward silences and you don't see what's going on and you miss things. I was gonna say that this one could probably be okay for younger audiences, but there is a scene, of course, the TV show is not as good as the book, and they did some things out of order, which made me a little upset. Just a little bit. The Calamity Party in the show is in a cave underground, and people are doing stuff. In the book, you don't see them doing stuff. You see what she sees, and because you're in her eyes, in her mind, and she sees people being led away by the hand to go make out somewhere. But in the TV show, you see things in the background. And you see everything that's happening in the background. Okay. And, I don't even know how to explain this without giving, I'm not going to give it away. Okay. So, our main character is doing this report thingy that's something else that I didn't like is the TV show didn't turn it into a bit. They didn't find my words. The book, as she's going through talking to people and finding evidence, she's doing a podcast. She's talking about this to the world. Like, she's like, this and then this and this, and this is my new suspect, and this person is now on my suspect list, and this person's off the suspect list. And the TV show doesn't do that. nobody knows they're a suspect unless she's straightforward. Is like, well, you're on my suspect list. Which makes me a little irritated. Just a smidge irritated. And I am glad that they toned down the death of the dog, because in the book, it made me cry. In the TV show, I got a little teary because of the reaction that our main character gives. But it's not as gruesome. And she is investigating the murder of one of the most popular girls in the area. Or I guess she's really the rich girl in the area. Her dad is rich, and she's kind of popular. And so she's one of the last people that saw this girl. And the girl's boyfriend shows up and is like, hey, have you seen her? And he's like, I just want to talk to her. And so there's always been this little piece of her that's like, well, if he did kill her, then it's my fault because I told him where she was. But she never believed, she never wanted to believe that because they loved each other. Anyway, they solved the murder, and her and the boy's brother, who's barely older than her, and the whole time in the book, you're like, just kiss. Just kiss. Hold hands. Do something, because you can tell there's And so in the TV show, there are these awkward moments when they're both really excited and they have the smile, that smile at each other, and you can feel their chemistry. And I was like, yes, thank you for finding two people that have chemistry. This is perfect. But then there's they'd be like, oh, an awkward hug. Or he will hug her and she's like, a part about marshmallows. He almost leaves. I'm not going to give too much away because it's one of those, you kind of have to watch that one also without blinking. And then I want to talk about School Spirit. There needs to be a second season. Is there going to be a second season of this? Okay. So it looks like there's supposed to be a season 2. Ooh, but I'm not sure if it's going to be on Netflix. Oh, man. That is so depressing. School Spirits. Maddie, a teen stuck in the afterlife, investigates her own disappearance, goes on a crime-solving mission as she adjusts to high school purgatory. This one is pretty interesting. It has Milo, what's his name? Peyton List plays Maddie, and then Milo Manningham from Zombies plays one of the characters that's really close to her, along with Spencer McPherson and a handful of other people. I don't even know. But it's good, okay? And the way it ends, there better be a second season. I better be able to watch the second season. So she's stuck in the school, and she can only appear. She has a best friend that may have had feelings for her. They may have had feelings for each other, but they never acted on them. And he can see her in places that the other spirits had died. And all of these people that are all of these students that are the spirits, they all died in the school somewhere. So you learn a whole bunch, and then there's this one spirit that's like the teacher. He's like a therapist kind of teacher, and you learn some very interesting things about him, and I cannot even do this justice. Like, there are some parts when you're just like, okay, you're feeling, but you have to know that stuff. Like, it's important to later. And the ending, that's, I can't even tell you. Can't even tell you because it will give away. It was left on a cliffhanger. Okay. Next, I'm going to talk about Korean TV shows. So the first one I wanted to talk about is called #Alive, and it's a zombie apocalypse type thing, and I loved it. So #Alive says, as a Dad's not home right now, but you can show him when he comes home. It says, as a grisly virus rampages a city, a lone man stays locked inside his apartment, digitally cut off from seeking help and desperate to find a way out. I think it's Korean. Yeah, it's Korean horror zombie. They do a really good job, okay, I think that I'm a Korean fan, okay? All of their zombie apocalypse stuff is amazing, and I love the details that they put into all of their stuff. But this guy, he tries to, tweet. He makes a tweet about it, and then he sees a girl across the way, and a young woman, about the same age as him, and they try to get to each other because these zombies have muscle memory, and so they start sending things back. Okay, so them two start sending things back and forth, and then the string they're using breaks, and it's dangling down, and a firefighter zombie is trying to climb up this rope. Oh my gosh, it's very intense, and I absolutely thought this was amazing. Like, the zombies are creepy, like, they're creepy, okay? And I liked how it ended. And I liked seeing some of the stuff that they had to go through. Now, the one that I am watching right now is called Sweet Home. It's so good. The drama, the acting, the monsters. Oh my goodness, I love the monsters. If you've seen The Strain, where the monsters have the those things are in this, and I don't think they're the same monsters. And the virus lives in a person that's alive for about 15 days, and you can either fight it mentally or you can just give in to your desire. And so it's a curse. And I thought, because whenever I looked at it, I was like, oh, 10 episodes, I can watch this. And then, almost at 11 o'clock last night, I was like, okay, I was like, I had a few more, like 5 more minutes of the last episode, and I was like, I wonder if there's going to be more to this. I'm going to have to look if they're going to, there's got to be more, because they can't finish everything up in this short amount of time. And the episode ended, and before I could click out of it, it was like, would you like, do you want to watch the next episode? And I was like, what? And so then I clicked back to the main page for it, and it has 3 seasons. But these monsters are so cool. It's like The Strain and Silent Hill and oh my gosh, have you ever played 7 Days to Die? All of those zombies have been like mixed together and made better. And yes, there is some parts that are like, cheese. But at the same time, I feel like that's life. Like, and there are parts when I'm like, just throw the person out into the zombies. They're stupid. They're going to kill you. Because there are people that are like, I just want to go and find so-and-so. Let me out. And I'm like, just let them out. They made their choice. They know there's monsters out there. So yes, I am going to be finishing that soon. And it is good. And the main character, like, if you've never been bullied before, this main character will make you feel like you have. And there are some sad parts, and everyone who lives in this apartment building has felt despair before, and so that's why they're better at fighting, I think. You have the main character, I guess he's not really the main character, like they're all the main character, but the one that we know most about, the one we start with, he was bullied in school, which we find out a lot more about later, which we don't know that at first. We know that his parents died and he's alone. And then one of the ladies made me cry, okay. Made me pick up my baby, who's 4 now, and just hold her for a minute. And she like, Mom, are you sad? I was like, I'm sad. You learn that she lost her baby, and when that happened, she like shut down and she like pretends that she still has the baby. And there's a part where there are some kids. I don't know what she's doing over there. There are some kids in the building, and you see their dad fall off the building, and they see him fall off the building, and so they're sad. We don't know if they even have a mom. Anyway, so this lady who has she's pushing her imaginary baby, she comes across the kids, and she notices the kids look scared, and she turns to see what they're scared of, and there's a big old monster, and she looks at the monster, and she's like, let's leave the children alone, okay? And the monster, kills her, and before she's dead, you see her flashback, and she says, I knew my baby was gone when it happened, but I didn't want to believe it. And then she comes back as a monster and tries to kill the bad thing, like, so that the kids can get away. And I was like, ah! And it was so cute. And she comes back to herself. there are two other people that have been trying to help these kids, and one of them's like about to hit her because they got a big monster away, and she's about to like she's got a bat and she's about to hit this lady, and the lady is like trying to like bringing herself back together, and she looks at the girl and her eyes are still monster black, and she said, "Did they get away? Where did they go? Are they safe?" And the girl slowly starts bringing the bat down, and the lady's eyes go back to normal, and the girl goes, "Yeah, we got him to safety." And then she reaches out and she helps the lady up, and the lady is back to normal. I was like, which is how our main character does things. Like he's had all the symptoms, and so when he starts fighting, his eyes go black and he starts being like invincible, kind of. It's called the Golden Hour. We find out later. And then we find out that there's a guy in a wheelchair. He lost his wife and daughter. And there's that girl that had the bat. She lost someone very close to her. I don't know if it's a boyfriend or a brother. I couldn't tell. So we're probably going to learn more about that. And he completed suicide, but left her the bass guitar. And it had a note on it when she found him, and it said, "It's yours now." The backstories don't happen all at once, so you're like, okay, and then you get the backstory, and you're like, and then something intense happens, and you're like, and then something kind of funny happens, and you're like, and there's an abusive husband, and when the wife finally stands up to him, you're like, yes! Because everyone else stands up to him, and anytime anyone's around and he goes to hit his wife, because it's a public affair, they're like, "Leave her alone. Come at me, I'll take you down." And her story ends sad too. Made me cry. I was like, it's just so much happens, and you find out that one of the guys is was an alcoholic, and so he's felt despair before, and something happens to him. I'm giving away this whole entire thing, but yeah, it's really good. There's drama, there's sadness, there's happiness, there's like, yes. And then they always play the song by Imagine Dragons, Warriors, I think is what it's called, plays in the background sometime whenever something big is happening, and you're just like, yeah. Sometimes you just need that uplifting music. I know that the actors can't hear it. So I'm going to be finishing that. I'm so excited. And there are a handful of TV shows on Netflix that I'm waiting for the next season of, and it says a new season is coming. And I can't wait, because I've been waiting for some of these for a very long time. Like, back before COVID happened. Well, okay, I guess, like, I watched the season, and then COVID happened, and then the writing thing happened, and they got canceled, and then they got brought back, and I just want to know, okay? So we have Sandman. Sandman is one of the ones that I can't wait. It's been approved for a new season, and I just want to know what happens, because it was really good. And so, yeah, that's one of them I'm waiting for. Wednesday, of course, I'm waiting for the second season of Wednesday. I'd be crazy if I didn't. There is a show called Alice in Borderland. I'm pretty sure I've talked about this one before. I believe it's also Korean. It ended with a Joker card on a table, and I was like, I knew this world wasn't real. I knew they didn't escape. I need to know what happens. I think there might be a manga about that one, so I might need to find that. And then All of Us Are Dead. All of Us Are Dead is about a zombie apocalypse type thing, and it happened. You're stuck in school with these teenagers, and they're doing a really good job at staying alive once they figure out what happens. And the way it ended, I was like, no, there's got to be more. There's got to be more. So now, whenever you click on it, it says that there's going to be another season, and I cannot wait. So, I believe that one's Korean also. But All of Us Are Dead has, romance, secret romance, like little kid romance. And there's a lot of exciting scenes because they gotta run and fight and try not to get bit. And there's some scenes that make you kind of sad because you're like, oh, I kind of liked that character. And Alice in Borderlands, you feel all of the emotions between the two main characters, and I need them to be in love. I need the two main characters to be in love. That's all. Yeah, I don't have anything else. Well, I probably could keep talking, but I think this video is already going to be really long, and I should probably cut off. So if you like hearing about movies and TV shows that I like, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up, and comment below if you think there's a TV show that I might need to watch. I like drama, horror, thriller. So there are some animes that I won't watch. Anyway, I'm getting ready to watch the new season of My Hero, the last season of My Hero, and I've heard some things, and I'm probably gonna get emotional either way because it's the last one, and I'm gonna be sad because I like My Hero. Anyway, let's see, what else? Subscribe. If you're not sure if you want to subscribe, you can click my face and it will take you to my channel, and then you can go through and see if any of my other videos appeal to you, and share this video because everyone likes TV shows. Everyone needs something to binge watch sometimes. And that's all I have to talk about. So I'm going to finish this coffee and then, I don't know, do something with my kiddo. I will see you on my next video. Bye!